Boss tells View enough already. Dagan, according to the Daily Beast, Disney and ABC execs have told The View to tone down their Trump bashing because they're constantly doing it. Should they, though? I mean, isn't this their brand now? They got nothing left. If you take that away, what do they have?
Nothing.
Greg Gutfeld unleashed a comedy masterclass aimed at The View, delivering a roast so fiery that even Mickey Mouse might have reached for a fire extinguisher. This comes after Disney's CEO reportedly threatened to pull the plug on the daytime show faster than you can say ratings flop. What sparked Disney's wrath, and how did Gutfeld turn that corporate tension into comedic gold? Stick around. This drama is spicier than a theme park turkey leg.
Disney, the owner of ABC News and daytime talk show The View, is now the subject of a new report claiming CEO Bob Iger is urging the show's host to tone down their criticism of President Donald Trump.
Always want us to be respectful and do the things and talk about the stuff we talk about. We can do all of that. But when you are blatantly giving the country the middle finger, that is blatant. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to take the plane.
Don't you think when he lets these white Africans in and claims that's giving the middle finger to the black community?
Disney, the magical kingdom of talking animals and iconic mouse ears, rarely aims its cancellation wand at anything beyond underperforming cartoons or flopped movies starring CGI raccoons with emotional baggage. But this time their sights were set on a different target: the shrill and divisive daytime chatter of The View.
Nothing. As if the show is some delightful chit-chat fest without the political talk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a lullaby and a shot of dipple.
Yeah.
If they're not ripping on Trump. Here's Joy. She's going to share her feminine hygiene routine and tell you how to prevent your old tatas from going down and having a picnic with your belly button.
Once considered the untouchable circle of daytime television's talking heads, The View seems to have pushed its luck a little too far. The fallout was as unexpected as a rogue churro at Disneyland. Disney, the same corporate giant that has long shielded The View from significant backlash, finally appeared to lose patience. It turns out that watching 5 women argue over which celebrity to cancel next isn't exactly the ratings magnet it used to be.
That's like a cross between The View and Hee Haw. Except hoo-ha. Wow, that is pretty good, isn't it? It's hee-haw meets hoo-ha. I don't know. Michelle, you okay, Michelle? At least somebody got it, even when I was thinking, I go, does that make any sense?
Yes, it made perfect sense.
Enter Greg Gutfeld, Fox News' irreverent humorist who took Disney's vague threats and turned them into an invitation to obliterate The View in a monologue. With the precision of a master roaster, Gutfeld dismantled the show's bloated reputation, likening it to the flaming wreckage of a daytime television blimp, puffed up, full of hot air, and overdue for a reality check.
Told them to lighten up, and this is what they did on the Qatar jet, or Qatar jet.
The United States has accepted the plane. Is going to
He has accepted the plane. The United States has not accepted the plane.
He representing the
He's not representing us.
He's the government. Why does he want it, do you think? Because he's the king? He wants to go around the world like the king?
It goes to him and his presidential library, so it becomes his plane.
But we all know that that's BS, okay? He's not giving that to his presidential library. He's going to take it, he's going to fly and use it. But he's not supposed to have it. I got the Constitution right here. He's not supposed to have the plane, okay?
All right, my point, Michelle. If you take that away from them, I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Like, it's like what Dagan said, there isn't anything.
Gutfeld didn't need to spell it out. His genius lies in his wit, his biting inferences, and a side-eye sharp enough to warrant its own SPF rating. He skewered The View as a shallow group chat masquerading as meaningful television, a platform for synchronized opinions, political takedowns, and moral grandstanding. The real twist? After years of turning a blind eye to the show's echo chamber of secondhand outrage, Disney finally noticed what viewers have been saying for ages. Screaming isn't the same as substance. As ratings continued to plummet, the corporate overlords realized the magic of The View had all but disappeared, much like the coherence of a Marvel Phase 4 plot. When your audience is mostly people who forgot to turn the TV off after cartoons, maybe it's time to rethink the format.
Love what you said about wanting to entertain audiences. Critics saying Disney's too woke, but you're just putting out storytelling.
We are. Look, I don't really like the term woke because I think it's an umbrella term that I'm not 100% sure I even know what it means, and one could argue that sometimes it's used too liberally. That said, our primary purpose is to entertain, and where we can entertain responsibly, obviously we try to do that. We try to have a positive impact on the world, but the first thing we need to do is entertain.
Greg Gutfeld wasted no time skewering The View in a takedown as scathing as it was hilarious. He likened the show to a Roman Colosseum for daytime TV, not with gladiators but overpaid hosts lobbing passive-aggressive shade and Instagram-worthy platitudes. The audience? A polite cough from a nation cringing with secondhand embarrassment. Gutfeld's sarcasm didn't stop at the format. He targeted the cast like a comedian on a rampage. Each host became a walking caricature, the Fox intellectual mistaking verbosity for wisdom, the eternal victim offering little more than indignation, the washed-up celebrity out of sync with reality, and the would-be centrist who caves under the slightest pressure. Disney's threat to cancel the show. Gutfeld called it what it was. Not corporate overreach, but a mercy killing long overdue.
What it reminds me of, Joey, is that it's like, it is a microcosm of the Democrat Party. If you look at The View, it's tightly wound and miserable, largely female, hallucinating and angry. Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
Let's face it, The View has become a parody of itself. Each episode feels like a masterclass in how not to hold meaningful discussions, more akin to 5 Yelp reviews arguing over politics than a platform for thoughtful debate. Gutfeld's roast wasn't just about mockery, it was a diagnosis of a show long past its prime. As ABC scrambled to control the PR fallout, even Mickey Mouse seemed to be side-eyeing the ratings slump. Once a bold brand claiming to shape national conversations, The View now struggles to inspire even lunch break chatter. Gutfeld's wit held up a mirror to the show, exposing its irrelevance, hypocrisy, and inability to self-reflect. In a panel obsessed with accountability, it was ironic to see none directed inward.
It's about The View. It's like it's become like a medical hospital that displays human misfailure. Like it's like here, let's look at this political oddity. You know, it's like it really is like the left-wing equivalent of a carnival sideshow, except instead of bearded ladies and fat clowns and two-headed cows. Well, let me rephrase that. But The View is a victim of the sunk cost.
The problem isn't politics, it's performance. The View doesn't inform, it emotes. It doesn't debate, it declares. It's not a news panel, it's a midday seance where facts vanish and feelings reign supreme. Gutfeld didn't need elaborate jokes. The absurdity spoke for itself. A simple raised eyebrow and a well-placed quip were enough to roast a show so predictable that describing it feels like satire. The ratings decline only underscores the point. Audiences have moved on, choosing streaming platforms, podcasts, or even blank walls over a format stuck in 2009. Meanwhile, Gutfeld's sharp humor draws viewers tired of sanctimony and desperate for smart, witty commentary.
How can you now speak the truth when for years you've been telling lie after lie after lie? Now you're carrying this big bag of rocks around you because it's too harmful for their ego to admit that we really were dishonest. And they could be honest. All they would have to say is, look, we hate Trump so much. We were willing to lie about Joe Biden because we felt he was preferable. We thought our lying and our cover-up was on your behalf. Just say that. You're still scum, but at least you're an honest scum.
As Disney contemplates its options, The View dangles by a thread years in the fraying. Gutfeld has the scissors and the audacity to laugh while reminding everyone that the Emperor's new clothes are stitched from recycled hashtags. If this is The View's swan song, let it serve as a cautionary tale about what happens when smugness replaces substance and groupthink masquerades as insight. Somewhere, Gutfeld might be raising a glass, not in victory, but in disbelief that it took this long for Disney to catch on. His roast wasn't just comedy, it was a requiem for a show that mistook loudness for intelligence.
An anti-aging drug for dogs has moved closer to gaining FDA approval. Customers are already waiting in line. No, it's nothing personal. We just saved money using the same picture 3 times.
Disney's threat to cancel The View wasn't just an internal memo gone rogue. It was the meteor hurtling toward a dinosaur nest. And yes, The View is the screechiest velociraptor in the pen. But here's the kicker, it's not an outlier. It's the poster child of a genre that mistakes groupthink for bravery, sanctimony for compelling TV, and shouting for moral authority. This ecosystem rewards outrage over dialogue, collapsing under the weight of its irrelevance. As audiences tune out, legacy media clutches its pearls and calls it progress. But even the loudest echo chambers crumble when there's no one left to listen.
Jackal, if you hate Kamala's cackle, according to The View's moo-moo-wearing mascot, Joy Behar. Men are sexist if they're not a fan of Kamala's laugh, or funny women in general, especially if they're in bed. Roll it.
What really ticks me off about him, though, is this laughing Kamala remark. It's such a sexist remark because a guy I was with over the weekend, a friend of mine, they said Kamala's laugh annoys me. Remember they said that about Hillary's laugh, that she was cackling. And men, you know, they don't like a funny woman. They're afraid if you laugh or you make a joke that maybe you'll do that when they're in bed with you.
Oh my
Joy Behar in bed? Ooh. I thought cows slept standing up.
The ratings tell the story. The View is nosediving like the teleprompter just went blank mid-broadcast. Audiences are tuning out from shows that treat nuance like a brick through a window. Why? Because viewers can smell pandering from a mile away, and it reeks worse than a Whoopi Goldberg hot take on a Monday. Meanwhile, Greg Gutfeld is thriving on the media battlefield, climbing the ratings charts, not because he's reinventing TV, but because he's sticking to what works: humor, satire, and dare we say, reflecting what audiences are actually thinking instead of scolding them for it. It's a poetic twist of fate. The once dominant liberal media is now desperately clinging to its shrinking audience, hemorrhaging credibility as it goes. For years, cancel culture was their weapon of choice. Now, as corporate suits wield the cancellation axe, it feels a lot less satisfying, doesn't it? And so the final chapter of this reality TV disaster looms, the potential demise of The View.
I actually thought that was a nice break from the normal chatter, right? Did you notice how the audience they couldn't tell the difference? Because generally it is a screaming match. And so you have the audience basically joining in. That stuff, it has a reverse effect. Like, it's making me more militant in my adherence to fossil fuels and to red meat. It's like I see that, I go, well, I'm gonna just start eating a raw ribeye while driving a tractor trailer up a mountain of coal. Just like this, the whole time. I'm not stopping, I'm coming for you, View. But you're right. It's all, it's actually not right versus left. That's left versus left. Yeah.
Disney's threat isn't a death sentence yet, but it's a giant warning flare signaling that even the most insulated bastions of ideological fluff aren't safe from extinction. The show faces 2 paths: a radical reinvention, which would require the impossible, co-hosts with self-awareness, or a slow fade into irrelevance, like a TikTok trend your mom just discovered. What options remain? They've tried moral outrage, Fox intellectual activism, and even rebranding yelling as dialogue. But all that's left now is the yelling. Desperate ratings-chasing yelling from a show that once believed it was untouchable. Perhaps if they yell loud enough, they'll convince someone they're still relevant, or at least drown out the sound of their audience quietly leaving.